Hey there, what's up guys? Bryan here. Welcome to Lockdown Guitar Lessons number 6. Today we're going to talk about picking once again, following on from the 5th episode, talking about alternate and economy picking. I'd like to share with you today a thing that I've been working on recently, which is comparing finger picking, so not using a pick, with hybrid picking, which is using a pick and the fingers, right? A mixture, if you like. The reason why we might want to go into this is because, well, over the years, I've found that when you play guitar as a rhythm instrument, it's very hard to ignore some of these techniques which use the fingers rather than the pick in order to achieve a more mellow and warm sound. Because the fact is, usually the pick is quite hard on the strings, so that it'll produce a more metallic sound, if you like, or the attack will be quite prominent. Whereas when you're using fingers, it's a lot more mellow, almost like playing acoustic guitar or the feel of a classical guitar. You can hear the difference. Compared to just using the thumb. Right, if I use the other fingers, the sound itself is very different, I find. So depending on the situation, you'd always have to change and adapt. I think it's a very good idea to be able to do more than one thing with the right hand. So the method that I've adopted ever since that concept came to mind is that rather than throw the pick away or put it in your mouth, I usually try and hide the pick between my second and the third finger on the right hand, and I can go between that fairly quickly, like that. Well, a big thing for me is that when I play, I usually have to do solo lines, like melody lines, as well as the chords. Being able to go between the two very quickly is important, rather than for a full song, I can be able to get away with just using finger picking for rhythm parts. Yeah, usually I have to go between the two. Right, so just to demonstrate, maybe I'll play some melodies and then switch. So you'll see what I mean by the switching from just using a pick into using all fingers. Something like that, right? So I've gotten used to that. But recently, I've also come across this idea of hybrid picking, which essentially uses more pinky than before. The main reason for that is because if you don't use the pick, you've got 5 fingers free. But if you do use the pick in hybrid picking, the first 2 fingers on your right hand, right? So the thumb actually becomes 1 finger. Right, the pick becomes 1 finger, so you've got 3 other fingers. In total, you've got only 4. So I would urge you to try and compare the two and see how you feel. Obviously, there are advantages and disadvantages to each of the methods. For me personally, I found that I get a lot more control, probably just because I've practiced it quite a lot, which is to use the thumb for the bottom 2 strings, usually the root of the chords, right? G major 7, C major 7. Yeah, I can go between that with the thumb. And the rest of the chord I can play using the rest of the fingers, starting from the 4th string and upwards to the 1st string. I could, if I wanted to, use the pinky to play the first string. And of course, with the hybrid picking, I'm not able to reach that many strings. But the similar idea is that I'll use the pick for the bottom notes. Right. Let's not forget the sound itself as well. If I use the pick to strum a chord, I won't be able to play every note at the same time as if I was to play with the fingers. So it's kind of like playing chords in a pianist kind of way, when they hit all the notes at the same time, rather than a broken chord like strumming it. You can play You can also arpeggiate the chords as well, probably a bit more efficiently with the fingers rather than the pick. Or even with hybrid picking. Yeah. With the hybrid picking, the main thing would be try and get the pinky on the right hand to be more strong, since we've not really used that before. Well, I've not really used that before. I'm sure you can take some influence from classical guitar techniques. And an advantage about the hybrid picking is that you can go between playing single lines and playing chords quite quickly. You could also combine playing chords with the pick as well as hybrid picking, since you're already holding a pick. So that's about it for today. If you like this video, please share it with your friends, your guitar friends who might be interested in changing their style a little bit. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this, and check out this whole series. I'll see you next time. Cheers.